then I'll take it away.
Oh, like, hi.
2 minutes past, but nobody's waiting on us, so it's okay. Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy Coffee Corner Wednesday. We have our normal gal with me here. It's Christy of Christy's Corner. She's wearing her party hat because this young lady right here, the baby of our trio, turned 15 yesterday.
7. I'm an old grandma now.
27 and she's an old grandma. All right. Hold on just a second. So.
Yeah, because I am 11 years older than you. Almost 12 years older than you because I'll be 39 this year.
Yeah. So hush down there, miss.
And this one, I can't point.
Me, right here.
That one is younger than me too.
Yeah. I turned 34 in like less than 80 days. Yeah.
My boyfriend Josh is 9.5 years older than me.
9.5 years. So he's 37, sorry.
He'll be 37, yeah, this year.
So about 70 days and I turned 34. So, shush down there.
I feel like I'm
80. You better not. You are only as old as you feel. So if you feel older, you should change that up.
That's right. So, just a reminder, guys, that there is no castle chat on Friday. However, we will be playing Drawful here Friday night, maybe for an hour or so, just to kind of hang out and have fun. Sam and I love playing Drawful, but you have to have at least 3 people to play. So Sammy's going to join us and play. I don't know if Christy's going to join us or not. She may have something else going on, but we're just going to play some Drawful and have some fun and hang out for an hour or so. Just kind of switch it up
a little bit later.
Yes.
The normal time.
Right. It will be, I think.
An hour later?
Yeah, I think it's an hour later. Mm-hmm. So it'll be at 8 p.m. Central and 9 p.m. Eastern.
You should just do Castle Chat Drawful edition.
Oh, okay.
You can do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's at 8 p.m. Central, so 9 p.m. Walt Disney World.
And 7 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yes.
6 p.m. Disney.
We're just going to list all the times. Can you do it all the way around the world?
All around the world. So there's been some real, did anyone watch all the different live streams last night of the fireworks for the cast member preview of fireworks coming back?
No, I had a subscriber send me a video though. But then I stopped it because I'm like, I want to see it for the first time in person.
But you're not going to see Happily Ever After.
No, Happily Ever After goes away on September 30th, and October 1st, the 50th anniversary fireworks start.
Yep. So you won't see this one in person anyway.
Well, it's
not going to ruin anything for you. Don't watch anything after October 1st.
It might. What if I go another time in my life when Happily Ever After plays?
We don't know. We don't know if it's going to come back or if they're going to have something else after the 50th is over. They haven't
always been Happily Ever After?
No, Happily Ever After is new since 2016, something like that.
Yeah, I think so. 16 or 17.
I don't know. I just feel like I want to see the magic of fireworks for the very first time of Disney, like whatever the fireworks show is. And then after I go to Disney, sorry, I'm cleaning because my stuff's dirty.
I will say, watching the fireworks on the live stream through your computer is completely different than seeing them in person. So it's really not going to, you're going to go, oh my gosh, this is so much better in person.
But Lena, I'm also the person that I literally will only watch one trailer of a movie, and it's normally the very first one that's like 5 seconds long, and I won't watch another trailer because I don't want anything in the movie to be ruined.
You can't ruin something that's not going to be there.
I will ruin the look of what fireworks look like behind the castle.
I would say, you don't know what fireworks look like? Okay, you need to come to Kansas and we're going to shoot off some fireworks.
She knows what fireworks look like.
I know what they look like. I just don't know what they look like behind a magical, beautiful, statuesque cast.
Well, that's good because if you watch it on YouTube, it's from the front of the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. It's an illusion. Thank you, Randy.
Good morning, Ryan.
And Super Girl, hi.
It's just become a thing now. Yes, if you did not know, we are celebrating Sammy this morning. It is this one. She's turned 27 yesterday, and she says she feels 80. So we're very concerned for her.
But it's because you know why I feel 80? You know
because
why?
you go kickboxing all the time?
No.
And your muscles hurt?
No. Because I do a lot of old people things.
Like sew and knit.
And I go to bed at like 8:30 most nights.
Well, I will tell you this. When I was in college, we had a class that I absolutely hated. It was like a mandatory prerequisite class. And I would take my knitting and I would sit there and knit in class the entire time.
That sounds awesome. What is underneath here?
I didn't, when they were setting up my college schedule.
I remember 27.
They hold on, I totally forgot what I was saying.
Brain fart.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. When I was in college, they made up my schedule without asking me what I wanted to do. And so I got stuck in accounting 2, and I had never even taken accounting 1, and I didn't have the math requirements for accounting 2, but they're like, well, we'll have to put you there anyway. And I'm like, how? I failed the class. And they're like, why did you fail accounting 2? And I'm like, because I had not taken accounting 1, nor was I at the math level to take accounting 2.
You're like, thanks, people. You turds.
Well, my mom and dad.
Hi.
My mom and dad contacted the school, and they're like, well, we have to put that she failed this class. And mom and dad went, no, you're not. You're gonna put it down as she audited the class. And they're like, well, she failed it. And they're like, no, you failed her because you did not listen, and you put her in a class that she was not academically ready for. Nor did she.
You shouldn't have even been eligible for that class.
Right, I shouldn't have been, and that's the thing. They're like, well, we had to push her through to be able to take it. And they're like, exactly. She shouldn't have been in the class.
Yeah. That's stupid. Dom.
Very.
Good morning, Kitty. Evie, you had a good morning.
That's a baby kitty.
Baby kitty.
Ryan says we've got good views of fireworks from the circus area before. That is a good spot to see the fireworks.
I just don't want to see them until I'm there.
Have you watched any ride POVs yet, or are you waiting to experience them when you get there?
I've seen some, like, because I watched like Crystal's videos and stuff, but I also I'm a bad friend because I like half watch people's videos.
I do that too.
It plays in the background kind of thing. So I don't really pay attention to everything that's going around. I just listen to the noises more than anything. So I still don't know everything with rides. Because like I said, I don't like things being spoiled.
I like, especially for kids. I know kids like to know what's going to happen ahead of time. And I tell people to watch the ride POVs, especially if there's something that might scare a younger kid. Like maybe they're tall enough to ride Tower of Terror, but the drop sequence might terrify them. So if there's something that like makes you concerned, like will I like this? Will this affect my stomach? You can get a pretty decent feel for it by watching the ride POV.
Is that like somebody in Disney that like films that?
Yeah. I have ride POVs for several rides on my channel.
Oh, I didn't know if it was like YouTubers that film it, or like if it was like Disney cast members are like, let's prepare your kids.
A lot of YouTubers will do ride POVs because it gives you extra content.
That makes sense.
Because putting a ride in the middle of your daily video would just like really make it long. But you could take that, you could film it, for me, I can splice and cut up videos in my editing tool. So I can take that ride POV, splice it down, speed it up, splice it.
Sorry. I
can splice it up, fast, speed it up, and then have a whole separate video of that ride POV. Like, I was trying to look at my playlist and see what rides I do have POVs.
Do you speed it up, or do you keep it in real time so people know what it actually feels like?
In the daily video, I would speed it up. For the ride POV, I would leave it the regular speed.
Okay, that makes sense. That scared me.
Scared you?
I got scared.
That's what
I think my coffee's done. Yeah, so I was working on some stuff yesterday and I left a piece out and I was like, oh crap. So I instead of logging back on last night to finish it because there was no point, nobody was in the office at that point, I just was like, I'll fix it in the morning. So I'm fixing something that I forgot to change yesterday.
How dare you?
But I am gonna go get my coffee. It's done.
Like I have the full Spirit of Aloha dinner show.
Our first trip in forever was dinosaur. Son hated it. I convinced him all the rides wasn't like the rest of the trip.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Dinosaur is definitely one that I would recommend showing a ride POV for because it's terrifying for an adult.
Really?
Yeah. What's
terrifying about it? Like the dinosaurs?
Oh yeah, because they're like right there.
Oh.
It like you'll go around the corner and like right here is a big Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I like that. That makes me think of Waterworld out here. I don't know if all the Waterworld are the same, but there's a dinosaur ride in Waterworld, and it's like big old like dinosaurs.
I have a ride POV of alien swirling saucers. I know I have one for Living with the Land. I got the Friends, Soarin', Smuggler's Run.
Like a like where your body hurts, or like you get like I like butterflies. Does it give you butterflies, or does it just annoy you?
What do you? I didn't hear.
I'm not back. I was gonna come mute me, but you muted me.
Okay.
You enjoy it now, but it's sort of rough.
It's very rough. It jerks you around because you're supposed to be on a Jeep going through the jungle in the dinosaur times. Huh. But yeah, to me, ride POVs give you a little bit of extra content. Like you can decide where you want to put them. Like for me, my videos go chronologically. Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. And so if I know that day 2 we rode Living with the Land, I can put Living with the Land up.
Someone vibrated my computer.
Hello.
It is the Sami Show. Da 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 da. The Sami Show. Not gonna lie, guys, I'm probably gonna go back to sleep after this. It's probably Sam. Thank you.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry. That was my dad.
Oh, hi, Dad.
Well, here's the thing. I'm making a recipe, and I need a slice of bread. We didn't buy bread last time we went to the grocery store. We bought tortillas to make sandwich roll-ups. and we don't
one
eat.
slice of bread.
I need one slice of bread. So I called mom and dad. I'm like, I need a slice of bread. And dad was like, do you need a loaf of bread? And I'm like, Dad, I need one slice of bread. I don't want to buy a loaf of bread and then go on vacation because it'll be icky and gross when I get home. I need one slice of bread. One.
What are you making that just needs one slice of bread?
I want it. It's a TikTok recipe. It's called fairy bread. And I guess it's a popular thing over in the UK and Australia, which I guess Australia is part of the UK, technically. It's you take a slice of bread and you put butter on it and you cover it in sprinkles. And I guess it's like when people have tea parties for their kids, it's their fancy sandwich for their kids. And I'm like, I said something, I commented, I'm like, oh, I kind of had something similar to that growing up, only my grandma would put sugar on it instead of sprinkles. And somebody goes, isn't sugar just uncolored sprinkles? And I went, I grew up eating fairy bread.
That sounds gross, though. Sugar and butter.
If you have never tried bread and butter with sugar on it, you are missing out. It's really good. See, it really should have occurred to me that it was something from the UK because my grandma and the Queen are about the same age, and my grandma loves Queen Elizabeth, and so the fact that and we always had it when we were having a tea party. That was the only time we had it, so it should have connected in my brain, but it didn't.
So, are you gonna try it with the sprinkles to see if it tastes the same?
I am. I have some colored sugar sprinkles that I had bought for a Vlogmas video when I made hot chocolate ornaments.
Are they sprinkles or are they like sugar specks? Because I think sprinkles and like the sugar toppings are two different things.
I have both. So I'll probably cut the slice of bread in half.
Okay.
Into triangles and then do both of them.
Yeah, because in my head, like sprinkles are like the little round
tiny balls.
Or like the oval.
Oval,
thank you. Oval shaped ones. Like, and then like the pink like sugar things, they're like just sugar dusting.
Yeah, so I've got both. So I'll probably do both ways.
Yeah, but I would be interested in seeing, do they do the same, like the colored sugar sprinkle thing? Like the sugar
Yeah, they do both.
Okay, and they do actual sugar, like the actual sprinkles.
Yes. But I'm like, oh my gosh, like why it didn't occur to me that it was something out of the UK, knowing my grandma, I don't know. Probably because like I didn't really put it together. I didn't know it was a thing.
Right, you just thought it was something weird grandma did.
Right. I thought it was one of those like Depression era foods because my grandma's 96. She lived through the Depression.
Yeah.
And so to me, a slice of bread with butter and some sugar on it, to me, is like a Depression era snack, like a sweet treat for a kid. You've got some butter, you've got some bread, you've got a little bit of sugar, and here's a sweet treat that's not going to cost too much.
Yeah.
It never occurred to me that it's a thing in other countries. But it's real, like putting that together it makes that memory so much more better.
Yeah. Definitely.
So, but I just find it really funny. Dad's going, what? One slice of bread, really? I would bring you a loaf. I don't need a loaf, Dad. I don't want it to go bad. I need one piece of bread. What? This one slice of bread is going to be.
Dad's like, I'll bring you a whole loaf.
Watch him bring me. He's like, I'm going to bring you your gas bill and your license plate and your slice of bread. Okay.
It's funny.
Our gas bill is in my parents' name because when we were moving here 10 years ago, there was all the utilities are in Dad's name because they had to get them turned on. Mm. And it was going to cost us $100 to change them into our name. I went, nah, they can stay in Dad's name.
I would have done the same thing. I mean, you're paying them. It's not like he has to pay that for you.
Oh, no. It just really like every time they get a new person at the city office where we pay our utilities, or at least we did, because now it's all online.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be like, are you authorized to make a payment on this account? And I go, Tell Mona Lena's calling to pay her utility bill. Mona, somebody named Lena is calling to pay her utility bill. 301 South Ash. It's under her dad's name. He had the utilities turned on when they were moving here in the Army. We charge $100 to change the name. They just left it in her dad's name. Is this legal? Yes, it's legal. And I'm thinking,
why would it not be legal? Like,
hey, if somebody wants to call and pay my utility bill, please let them.
It's so funny that you say that because like people say that all the time. Like, okay, so it annoys me when people say it at my work because I work for a financial institution. And if somebody's doing a deposit, I'm like, okay, do you want your balance? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, I need your ID for that. Why? If somebody wants to just put money in my account to slip them, I'm like, I will let them, but I won't give them your balance. Do you want me just to give your balance to everybody too?
Right.
You know? And I was like, yeah, so give me your ID so I can verify it's you. Like,
see, when I don't know where you were, and don't need to say either, but like we bank at BOA, and when we go in, before they'll even like go into the account, we have to give them our ID card.
Yeah, we ID people now. Like if they have masks on, before it was like everyone was mandated to wear a mask, so everyone got ID'd. But if they're not, but that was just because of coming into a financial institution with a mask on is pretty sketchy,
right? See that. I was watching a TikTok and somebody's like, you have to wear a mask. And they're like, actually, it's a felony to conceal and carry and wear a mask. And so, no, right now I cannot wear a mask.
Yeah. People are crazy.
Randy goes, go to the store and ask how much for one slice of bread. Probably, they'd say, what is wrong with you?
I think, can't you go to the store? Like, I don't know about your store, but my store has like the little bagel section. I'm pretty sure you can get like one slice of bread there.
We don't have, we live in rural Kansas, small grocery store.
Yeah, like mine has like, you have like the cookie thing and the donut thing, and then you have like the bread area where you can get a bagel. Like, I feel like I've seen like a slice of bread there.
Nope, not in our store. Like, we used to have 2 grocery stores in town. I actually worked at one when we first moved here. I worked the deli and the bakery section. I can decorate a cake. Learned how to do that. But we did sell. We would proof and make loaves of bread, and we would slice them up and bag them and sell them 2 in a bag for like sandwich on the go type things. We'd have sandwich on the go kits. The grocery store that's still open doesn't do that. And we actually started not shopping there. The last 2 times we've bought something, and I'm not a person that looks at every expiration date, like, especially when it comes to like things like Miracle Whip or mustard or something like that.
It's like the Best Buy dates, not like.
Right. I look at that on like my yogurt and my cottage cheese and my milk.
Right. Yeah.
We picked up a thing of Miracle Whip and we got to the counter and I happened to turn it around and it expired the end of 2019.
Ew.
And I went, I'm not getting this. And there was only like 2 or 3 on the shelf. So I went back and she's like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And I'll show that to Dale and we'll get that thrown away. All of the mayonnaise that was left, the Miracle Whip that was left on the shelf, had all expired the same date. So what that tells me is that somebody didn't rotate it. They shoved it to the back and stocked in front of it.
Yeah. Always rotate, guys. Always rotate.
See the weight, because I did a little bit of that kind of thing. I did more babysitting for a job where a lot of the other students did
stocking,
but you literally pull what's on the shelf off, you stock it, and then you start putting the older stuff in the front so that it goes.
Well, you should do that in your own home too, like every day-to-day life. Like that's like something you always put the thing that's going to expire first in front. You don't waste it. Yeah, I mean that's a really long time. We have a store out here. Well, we have 2 stores. They're both in Loveland. 2 different. I don't know. Maybe they are the same company because one's like further back, like going into Estes, and one's like closer into Fort Collins. but it's called Eshes, and it they sell things that are about to expire. So you can get like really cheap food. They sell it at cheap prices. So you can go in and get the food, or they sell a lot of like the Best By dates are already expired kind of thing, but it doesn't matter because it's like pasta or something like that. Like, doesn't matter if it's a behind thing or peanut butter, Best By, whatever.
Right. Yeah, when we lived out in Washington, we went to one called Grocery Outlet, and we loved Grocery Outlet. It's kind of like an Aldi's, but like you say, it's like almost like maybe a couple months from the Best By date or a little bit after. But they had, I would always, my friend Teresa and I would split the eggs because a 5 dozen eggs was $1.50.
Yeah. That's the thing is like you can get so much food for so cheap. And I like it because like I wish they had that when I was like a kid growing up, because food, well, like it's more expensive now, obviously, but like my mom was a single mom, and like if we couldn't get as much stuff because it was so expensive to get it, and like if we had that, I think we would have been able to have a lot of more different varieties of meals. But my mom made it work. Like we always would have like homemade mac and cheese or meatballs and gravy, which I like love so much. And so like she would make good things with the money that she had to spend to make the things, you know. So it was okay. But I just like always think, I'm like, oh, I wonder how much less pasta I would have eaten if we had one of these when I was growing up.
Yeah. I agree. You know, growing up, mom and dad was retired from the Army, and mom was working. So like our big thing was going out to eat, and that didn't even happen that often, you know.
It was like celebrations.
Right.
I remember if we were able to get like a McDonald's or Arby's, like it was like the best day of my life. I was like, oh, especially Arby's, because Arby's was always like, McDonald's was cheap and still is cheap, but like if we were doing Arby's, I knew it was going to be a great day. Great things are happening.
I remember when Sam was doing chemo back in 2008, not much settled on his stomach well. He could stomach Panera's chicken noodle soup and a bread bowl, and I think it's because the bread helped soak up the chemo and helped process it. And
I love their bread bowls, though. They're good.
Did you know you can buy them on their own?
Really?
Yes. If you go to the Panera app, you can buy them.
I just like the potato soup in the bread bowl. It's so good. I love potato.
Did you know that if you get the soup in the bread bowl, you're actually getting less than a cup of soup?
Oh, so buy the bread bowl individually and buy a cup of soup individually. Lena, this is why I keep you around.
TikTok. I actually already knew that before it was on TikTok, but...
Well, it's the same with like a burrito. Well, I think so, at least. Like, I think if I get a burrito bowl at Qdoba, I get more food than if I get a burrito at Qdoba.
I agree, because it's a different sizing.
So I just get a tortilla on the side and I peel my tortilla, scoop it up.
See, I'll take mine home. We usually get Qdoba or Chipotle to go. We typically don't eat it there. And they want like $2.99 for a small, like a bag of chips that's like lunch bag size. And this small, sorry, nose itches.
Stop itching your nose, Lena.
Somebody's talking about me.
Lena.
I know. So now my nose is gonna itch again. And this itty bitty little cup of salsa for like $3. So we get our Chipotle or Qdoba to go, and we always pick up, like when we grocery shop, which is typically when we'll eat out. We'll get a big jug of salsa. It's like $9. Depending on where you go, it could be between $6 and $9, and a couple bags of chips. And that salsa and chips will last us longer for, you know, when you price it down.
Yeah.
You know. and you're not trying to break your chip in half to scoop out of this itty bitty little condiment cup, you know. But then we'll take our burrito bowls home.
Qdoba, I don't know. Maybe it's like, because my Qdoba gives me like a tub this big.
Ours doesn't. Ours gives you the itty bitty little condiment cups of salsa.
Oh no, you get like the tub at mine. That's crazy. Yeah, they should be giving you like the tub.
I agree. Life hacks with Lena, right? I mean, I told Sam, I go, I feel like you aren't getting as much soup as I am. And he goes, oh, no, honey, it's the same amount of soup. And I go, I don't think so. So we were in Wichita, and I said, hey, do you want to just pick up some Panera and take home for dinner? And Sam goes, yeah, that's fine. He's like, I want chicken noodle soup and a bread bowl. I said, okay. So I went on and I was looking, I'm like, okay, they had 2 bread bowls for some price. I don't remember exactly what it was. And so I got a cup of chicken. I actually got him a cup of chicken noodle soup, which is what it says it comes with. And I got myself a bread bowl, and I got me a bowl of the broccoli cheddar soup. And we got home, and Sam's like, where's my soup? It's not in my bread bowl. And I go, well, no, it's going to be sogged through. I got you the cup of soup, you know, separate. He goes, oh, okay. He poured it in, and there was this much left in the cup. You're paying for the bread bowl.
Yeah.
With a little bit of soup in it. So I definitely recommend, if you want chicken noodle soup in a bread bowl, buy a bread bowl and buy a cup of soup.
That's so smart. Like, I mean, I haven't had Panera in a really long time. I don't know. I'm getting really hungry. I'm like, what am I going to have for lunch? And it's only 6:30. TV. Is Christy okay?
She must have fallen into her coffee.
Right? Probably waking up her kids or something.
Probably. So, yeah. Life hacks. Another one is, Sam and I love to go to Buffalo Wild Wings. And so we were looking at, getting some boneless wings, because Sam likes the boneless wings that B does more than the bone-in. I
do too.
He was like, well, I'll get a 10-piece and you can get a 10-piece, and we'll each get what the flavors we want. And I went, honey, I think it was like $30. We can get 30 wings for $30, and you can get up to 3 different sauces on them.
Right. Yeah.
It's the same price for 10 more wings. He went, okay. Qdoba,
it's Qdouba. Qdoba.
It's Qdoba. I'm on the website.
I just spelled it.
You put a U in it.
No, I didn't. I said Q. Did I put a U in it?
You did.
I think it's because I was reading Qdoba. Yeah, I was reading Randy's. That's why. I was like, I know how to spell Qdoba. That is like my favorite place to eat.
I dropped the link for it in the chat. You can look to see if there's one near you. It's real. If you have a Chipotle, if you have Chipotle, it's very similar to Chipotle.
I like how you say Chipotle, by the way.
Chipotle?
Chipotle.
Oh.
Chipotle.
Chipotle?
Chipotle.
I'm making it French. Chipotle.
But so, like, I used to be a Chipotle lover. I love Chipotle. I was like, that's what my family is still obsessed with, Chipotle. And then I started dating Josh, and he hadn't tried Qdoba, and I love it. I like Qdoba steak better than Chipotle steak. And I don't know. Like, I haven't had a Chipotle in a really long time, but I love Qdoba. I get their burrito bowl. So you get a bowl and you get a tortilla on the side. That's what I get.
Yeah.
So good. And I get extra rice, no beans.
Be right back.
Okay. Yeah, you can get like the rice. They don't. Oh, hello. Hi, I'm big. The rice, they don't charge extra for. So I don't like beans. I don't know. So like what I get, so I get a steak burrito bowl, and with everything I get in it, I get double rice, fajita, the steak, the Diablo queso because it's spicier. I get 2 salsas in it, guac, cheese, and lettuce, and then a tortilla on the side, and it's only like I think less than $10 for all of that, and it fills you up. Like I normally can save some for the next day. We got Chipotle all over, but never ate there. Walked into a local one and it stunk so bad, so did not return. That's so sad. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been into Chipotle, like I said, in a really long time. It sounds, I mean, but when I did, it never smelled bad. So maybe that was something with the one you walked into, which is not good, and maybe a health inspector needs to go. But all of this food talk's making me so hungry. Oh my goodness, I'm starving now. Oh, they're both back.
Okay, so he brought me 3 pieces of bread. Oh no, 4.
Now you and Sam can both try a full piece of each of them.
Let's see, what is this?
Your driver's license, or your driving plate. Your plate.
Probably our new tag.
I don't know what it's called. I think I'm gonna go put my French fries in the air fryer because I'm really hungry. Y'all making me hungry.
Yes, it is our new tag.
Don't show everybody; they're gonna find you. Lena.
Because they already can't hunt me down.
Randy, I am the same way. I have like a huge fear about trying new foods, trying new things. You actually, if you watch my green Irish You Were Green swap, Fran sends me a snack, and I literally am like having a panic attack, and I'm like, just eat it, it's fine, just eat it, like, because I'm the exact same way. I get so panicked because I'm like, what if I don't like it? What if it tastes bad? What if it makes me throw up? Like, I just have anxiety attacks when it comes to trying things I've never tried before, and then I probably make myself feel sicker than I normally would if I just didn't like it in a regular basis. But I'm going to go put my French fries in the air fryer. So I'll be right back.
I need an air fryer.
I love my air fryer. I got mine from QVC. It actually sat in the box for 2 years before I opened it.
I have a Disney themed one on my Christmas list. Yes, throw that away. Our garage refrigerator went out, and that's what took me so long.
That's okay. We were like, maybe she fell in her coffee.
Yeah, no, like I got up and the refrigerator went out, so I had to clear out stuff from this refrigerator that's been in there forever because frozen stuff kind of sits in there forever.
Yeah.
And then and then basically I just cleaned out 2 refrigerators. And
great way to spend Wednesday morning.
Condense them into one.
Not fun.
No.
What do you eat at places like Chipotle or Qdoba with being on keto?
I don't know what Qdoba is, but
it's pretty much like Chipotle.
Okay, I eat at Chipotle. They have a keto bowl and they also have a cauliflower bowl, so I get one of those too. I eat at Blaze obviously because they have keto and cauliflower crust. Then I mentioned the other day that Firehouse Subs now has a gluten-free bun.
You did.
I tried it, and it's really good.
You should have done a review on it for your channel.
Oh, I don't like. I don't.
It has gluten-free options.
I don't like to eat on camera. I do sometimes, but I try not to eat on camera. So, like if somebody sends me, like Cargo one time sent me Canada Snacks. Hold on.
What the hell are you doing?
totally read that.
Well, I muted myself on purpose.
She said, "What the HE double hockey sticks are you doing?"
Yes, I did.
We both died.
It was
We're like, whoa, she's mad. Mad mommy in the morning. Did you? She falls asleep easily and almost drowns in her coffee is what I was thinking.
No. Oh, I was saying that I don't really like. Cargo sent me Canada snacks, and I've had somebody send me snacks from Europe, and I'll try those. But those videos do not do well, mainly because it's awkward to sit there and just eat on camera. Obviously, if you're live streaming, like I've eaten live streaming before, it's not a big deal. Sammy does, it's not a big deal. But like when you're videoing it, it's just so awkward.
It was when I
because you're like,
you have to pause yourself to eat. When I was working with the pickup line here in town, I've pretty much reviewed their whole menu except for like specialty things at this point. We would show the food, eat a little bit on camera, and then have to pause. And then you're eating, and then like you get to talking, and you forget to go back and talk about it. So you're like, crap, go back. And at one time, it was really funny. I could have swore this was like a gigantic carrot, and the carrot probably was like big around, as this toilet. And Sam's like,
why do you have toilet paper right next to you?
Because I can out of Kleenex, and so when I need to blow my nose, I have toilet paper.
It's just like conveniently.
I don't have any Kleenex. We literally use toilet paper as Kleenex.
Really?
Yeah.
Y'all are crazy.
We cheap. We like our vacations.
Mm-hmm.
And this is even Scott one ply.
Because my nose is sensitive though, so I don't blow my nose often. Honestly, I probably should blow it more. I'd probably be less stuffy. So like my tissues last forever.
But this came from work. When we went to clean out our desk.
Oh yeah.
I had two of them on my desk, an open one and an unopened one, and I was like, I'll just take these. Why leave them?
Right? See, we's cheap. Now, if I'm sick and I have I have a physical cold or like something like that, then yes, we will splurge on Kleenex, but it's like the 98-cent box.
Yeah, I need the ones that are soft on my nosy.
Blub, blurb, blurb. He's still thinking that she fell into our coffee.
I was like, what is he blubbing about?
Coffee.
But yeah, everyone needs an air fryer. Hack, if you haven't, I have a hack. Put tin foil in your air fryer. And then you can just pull it out and you don't have to clean your air fryer every day.
On Sundays during the school year, I get the frozen tenders and I will cook up like their chicken tenders, not like the breaded ones, but like
I know what you're talking about. I do that too in them. And I really, if you guys like gyozas, I get them from King Soopers, Kroger, whatever it is, wherever you live. And I put them in the air fryer and they're so good.
Well, I also, if you have a Chick-fil-A, you can get the grilled nuggets and do the same thing. Mm-hmm. But I'm an hour away from Chick-fil-A,
5 minutes.
So I just do them at home. But I just throw probably 2 per day is what I typically budget, and I'll like cut them up into nuggets or I'll put them in a wrap, and I just air fry them on Sunday, and I air fry enough for the week because I prep my lunch when I get home. And so I'll either chop them up and put some, I make my own honey mustard dip. 1, I know what's in the mustard. 2, I know what's in the honey, and I know I'm not going to be glutened because there's some brands of mustard that have gluten in them.
I don't like mustard. I'm listening. I just got to go shake my fries.
Okay. It is, if you don't have a gluten sensitivity, you would actually be really surprised at how much food you consume that has gluten in it.
I can tell when I eat it. I get all bloated and my ankles swell.
Did you know that some lotions and shampoos and conditioners have gluten in them?
The ones I buy don't, but
I don't know if Vaseline does. This one doesn't make me swell up, so I don't think that this one does.
I can't use Jergens. Anything Jergens.
Nope. No. Jergens, it leaves red patchy spots.
Yes, and itchy.
Yes, on my hands.
There's no information on what's in Vaseline. I thought it was on. Oh, it's right there.
I use Vaseline on my face all the time.
Yeah,
So.
I love this Vaseline Intensive Care Essential Healing, and Sam got me this one because I was out. And look, you just turn the top, and it's travel ready, and then you just turn it back on.
Nice.
I'm like, my new favorite friend.
You know what I haven't done, and that I should do? A video of what my face care routine is, because I do makeup all the time, but I've not done a face care routine. And Vaseline is, I won't put it on in the morning because I feel like my makeup just falls off. But when I go to bed after I wash my face and do my regular stuff, I put a layer of Vaseline on.
My mom does that.
Just white petroleum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you would. I know.
I put it on my nose if my nose gets really dry, and I put it on my lips, which speaks.
Yep. I have to restart. Like, what was it I was using?
I mean, my face is doing pretty good.
Yeah. I will say that since I've been doing more skincare and makeup and stuff, I'm not getting as many. Like, I had those really bad breakouts on my nose, but that was like right before. But other than that, my skin's actually been staying pretty clear. Thank you, Christy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on a pill that my dermatologist gave me, and then I use like prescribed stuff too. But then I use Caravia for lotion, and then I switch between, like, in the mornings I use oh crap, what is it called? I don't know. I use like a fancier face wash in the mornings, and then I use a cheap one at night. But my face has been doing really good. I mean, considering Mother Nature is hanging out with me this week, I'm not doing too bad.
So I have, Robbie got it for me for Christmas last year. It's, you know, those tools that light up blue that you use when you go to get, that they use on you when you get a facial, and it kind of like sucks up your face. It sucks out the pores. I got one for Christmas this past year, and I use it at least 2 to 3 times a week. I used it last night, and I'm just like, because, you know, you can use those facial strips and it does the same thing, but this sucking mechanism.
I don't know if I do it wrong, because I have one of those, but I've also used facial strips, and like mine must just be like really deep in there because nothing comes out.
I never get anything right here. I get it all along here. On my chin.
See, and I don't have it too bad down here. I have it like here is like where all
and my nose
are.
Yeah, I'm clearest here. I get it on my nose and in my chin is where my problem areas are. But man, when I look at that thing, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I must be using mine wrong because nothing's ever in it, or I just don't have as bad a skin as I thought. I think I do, and I'm just don't need it. I don't know.
I had some in my eyebrows before, and those are painful.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And those are ingrown hairs.
Yeah.
That's why they're so painful.
Yeah.
No, mine are physical pimples.
Well, ingrown hairs, they're pimples. They're just, they have a hair that's going down in there, and they'll even you know, the stuff that comes out of a pimple.
Yeah, it will act just like a pimple, and that's why you won't even notice sometimes that it's an ingrown hair. But if you get anything in your like eyebrow area, it's normally an ingrown hair. There's like, because your hair is constantly growing, obviously, and so it's like a pimple that has a hair trapped in it, and that's why they hurt so bad. Is because it's like you're trying to push
the hair
out of your head, which this is like a really weird thing to talk about in the morning, I guess.
Do you ever get pimples on your legs?
Yes.
Yeah, those are ingrown hairs too.
I get them in my armpits.
Yep, that's also ingrown hairs.
That's why they hurt. If they hurt really bad, it's an ingrown hair. Or it's like if it's like on your face or something, it's like an underneath your skin one. Like it's one that you have to literally like, which I'm the worst at. Like you have to let it sit and wait until it is ready because it's literally under the surface of your skin.
I thought I had like sometime I think I did like a dry shave and just quick in one morning, and a couple of days later I was like, man, my armpit really hurts, and I had this knot. And of course we all go to the like worst case scenario. Oh my god, I've got cancer.
That's natural. Everybody does that.
And so it was like right before Christmas or Thanksgiving, I think. And I'm like, it rubs when I move my arm because it's like right in my armpit. And so I was like, well, why don't we put some antiseptic on it and put a Band-Aid on it so it has a little bit of protection and maybe you won't rub as bad. And so I went to change it, and it was really gross on the pad. And I go, Sam, I think it's a pimple. It was this big around, and my poor husband had to clear it.
Oh no.
I passed out. I was sitting with my arm in the air up against the wall in my parents' house, passed out because it hurt so bad.
I have gotten a pimple under my arm before, and it wasn't an ingrown hair, but most of the time they're ingrown hairs. That one sounds like it's probably a pimple.
And it was so painful. My poor husband. And I get him like right on my neck, like right on the back of my neck, like almost right by my spinal cord. That's
from the oil from your hair.
Yes.
Mine does that too, because I don't wash my hair daily because it gets too dried out.
Yeah.
And if I go like one day too long of not washing it, I will get a couple of breakouts on the back of my neck. And that's how I usually know, okay, I need to shorten the duration of the time of not washing.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
But like too, like if you work out a lot too, like you'll get them on your shoulders where you're like your sports bra lies.
The other thing is like some hair product. Now you'll be able to tell based on hair products because it's not just on your back. But if you're allergic to the hair product, you'll start getting like pimples on your scalp and on your back. I am allergic to Tresemme, and
it's got gluten in it.
It like really breaks my whole head out and my back. And I actually recently, I had purchased a honey mask for my hair, and it was like this like little 2 to 3 use little packet. And I was using it like once a week. And I was like, what is going on with my head? Why do I have all these bumps? Because I got bumps on my head, and that's like during the whole time that I had that, actual bump on my head.
Like, you're like, am I dying?
Yeah. And I'm having all these little bumps in my head. I'm like, what's going on? And it's taken so long to recover from that because not only did that mask cause bumps on my head, it actually caused my scalp to become kind of like cradle cap almost, like scaly. And I have been getting like chunks of skin out of it, and it's finally gone. And I was like, yeah, that honey stuff, I will never, ever use it again. And it had to be from that because I hadn't changed anything else.
Yeah. My hair is so oily that I actually have, they call them oil bumps. And I had one right here. Like my hair like bump, like poofs right here. Because for years I had this oil bump like right under my scalp right here. And I read online that you could put peppermint oil on a oil bump and it will draw it out. Pretty much it's a massive pimple under your scalp and your hair. And the doctors wanted to perform surgery to take it out. And I went, no. That's stupid. It's not going to kill me, right? They're like, well, no, it's just like a pimple under your scalp. I go, then there's no need for you to do surgery on my head.
They just wanted money.
That was even TRICARE. TRICARE had approved it.
Wow.
Well,
they will approve cosmetic work. Like that's something I learned in training class because in the military I did pharmaceuticals. And you had to know all the like insurance stuff. And they were like, yeah, each person is allowed one cosmetic procedure per year, 100% covered. I was like, oh, I could get a nose job. I could get my boobs done. I can do all these things. But of course,
I was actually approved for 3.
I was in 1 year?
Wow. I had been approved for the mommy package, the tummy tuck, the breast protection, and a lift.
I think They lump that into one because it's typically used after having a baby.
But I popped up because you have to go in and do a pregnancy test, and I popped up pregnant, and I'm like, I'm not pregnant. I guarantee it. They're like, well, you have to come back in 9 months. Well, of course, after that point, Sam was medically discharged, so I didn't get my tummy stapled or anything. So probably best because I've heard a lot of horror stories about that.
So that's my thing is like, yeah, there are definitely cosmetic things that just out of vanity that I wouldn't mind to have done. But at the same time, I think of it as, do I want to be fake? And I don't. And I don't want to look fake. So I've always just been like, I'll just, deal with it.
I had to turn my TikTok to private because I started getting some like, you're fat, you need to eat a salad. Like a whole bunch of nasty comments on my videos. So I had to turn mine private.
Blocked them.
I did. And I also deleted them, but I just turned it private because it's you never know that it could have been the same person.
I've never gotten nasty comments on TikTok, but I have gotten, and I get them regularly, nasty comments on Instagram.
Really?
Regularly. I had one yesterday. I had to delete it.
I don't get people, but like I wish celebrities didn't alter their videos and their photos. Like you can Photoshop videos. I found that out on TikTok. Like literally Photoshop a video to make yourself look skinnier. I'm like, why? Like you're making young
because it may not be them. You have to realize that a lot of celebrities don't do their own Instagrams and TikToks. They have a social media manager that is in charge of all of that. They actually have to get permission sometimes to make their own posts. Like when I read about this, I think a couple days ago, when Justin Timberlake posted on his Twitter the Free Britney thing. His social media manager like, oh well, no, I didn't approve that. And he goes, it's my social media.
Yeah, but the thing is like, I get like posts like that and stuff, but like obviously, like when you're trying to make yourself look like a brand, because there are celebrities like Meghan Trainor or Lizzo and people like that are like body positive and stuff like that. So like I think it's a choice that you move forward with. Like you are like, no, don't make sure that nothing like this is seen, like do this or that. Like I think of Kardashians, like they're always altering all of their stuff, They're
in a whole crazy of their own though. But I think some of it is they're in like, I know for like models, and Christy, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of modeling contracts will tell you have to be between X weight and X weight, and they have permission to alter photos or video as they see fit to fit what the client wants.
Yes and no. It depends on your credibility with the industry. What I mean by that is like, say you have, oh gosh, I'm trying to think of a really famous model.
Tyra Banks.
Say you have Tyra Banks and she's gained like 5-10 pounds and she's no longer in the category of that. They will Photoshop her. They will edit her. They edit people in general anyway. Like say, everybody's got love handles, they'll edit that out. But when it comes to being hired for a specific role or specific shoot, they say you have to be between this weight, you have to be able to fit in these clothing sizes. And if you come in on the day of shoot and you no longer fit that criteria, you're immediately fired and they will recast you.
That's just awful.
Unless you're like Tyra Banks. And then they'll do extra photo editing because it costs them money to edit the photo. And they edit the photos anyway. They soften your skin. Like I soften my skin in my pictures.
Yeah, I just wish people didn't do that though. Like
Disney does this whole thing.
People, like that have like body image issues. If they just showed like what models really look like, what superstars really looked like.
Well, you realize Disney does it too, Sammy, right?
Everybody does it.
Like when they're casting for the princesses, you can't be over X age. You can't be taller than this or shorter than this. You have to be between X and X weight for the princesses.
I just think it's disgusting.
Yeah, they will eliminate just different things. They'll eliminate a pooch. They might trim down somebody's nose if it's too long, like mine. They'll get rid of flyaway hairs. I know I always leave my flyaway hairs in my pictures just because that's too much work. But I do soften
the smoothing of the skin and stuff. It's like the changing of the body, though. Like what that has to do to that person too. Yeah. That's not what their body looks like. That has to be so unhealthy mentally.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It just breaks my heart.
Well, there's also, so for me, because, well, I think you guys know that I used to model. It was a long time ago, but I used to model. For me, I just found ways to pose to hide the chub, because it doesn't matter how small you are, you're going to have cellulite. You're going to have a little bit of a pooch when you lean over to the side. It doesn't matter. And they eliminate those in pictures professionally. But there are ways you can pose and stand to make yourself look thinner without having to edit the picture. Mm-hmm. And that's what I always do, because I'm like, well, I don't want someone to see this little bit of, extra skin I have here. So I'll do that. Or I don't want somebody to see my little bit of flab under my arm. So I'll hold my arm a certain way to where you can't see it. Yeah. And then again, like, my flab's always going to be there because I sit here and I lift weights all freaking day long. So the flabbiness, unless I'm flexing, is always going to be there.
Yeah. And that's like my stomach, like sitting down, I have my flab, but if I stand up and I flex, you see my abs, like in that picture I posted.
Mm-hmm. So there are different ways to, for every body type, poses to do to not eliminate your chub, but hide it. And also you can take pictures at different angles to elongate your legs.
Yeah.
Or
like, my thing is, like, I'm not upset that people want to have those sexy pictures and sexy poses, but also don't act like that's what your body looks like 24/7.
Right.
Like, that's my thing, is like, let people know, like, this is what my body really looks like, but I also can pose like this and my body will look like this. Like, mm-hmm. If you're honest with that, that's like what needs to be done. Like, I get that there's images that need to be held and stuff like that, but I think if the people that were looking all skinny and perfect boobs and perfect butt and all of this just showed a realistic picture of themselves, so many more younger females and younger males would not have eating disorders, would not have the problems that they're having and feeling down and feeling awful about themselves, because they'll be like, oh, okay, well, this is reality and this is the magazine,
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons I started Magical Makeup with Christy, is just the fact that I know I do my makeup well. I'm not like a professional at it, but I know I do it well. And I know that my makeup looks good on my face. But I also know that for a long time, I was uncomfortable with a bare face. Like, I would hate to go in public with a bare face. I'd put sunglasses on and I'd wear them in the store because I was uncomfortable with it. Yeah. And the only way to make myself comfortable with it for me was to start Magical Makeup with Christy. And that way people can see. Now, you don't always see my bare face because it's usually in the afternoon. I've already got foundation on, so I'll just leave that on and I'll take it off my eyes. But it's still just the fact that you get to see a person without makeup on that has had those insecurities.
Yeah.
And still fights with insecurities.
That's
because everybody does.
I used to be like, I will never film a video with no makeup on. And now I've had a few videos on my channel that I'm just like, I don't have the urge to put a full face of makeup on just to film a video. Like, yeah. That is like, that's a waste of makeup. Two, it's exhausting, like, that's an extra hour of my day or 30 minutes of my day that I can spend doing something else. So I started doing it, and I haven't got, I feel really lucky. I really don't get a lot of hate on my YouTube, knock on wood. Like, I've had it really lucky, but like, people are nice. People are like, I love you with no makeup on, and it makes me feel good. Like, I'm sitting here live with you guys with no makeup on my face. A year ago, I would not have done that.
I just have a liner on.
I would look at my face here and be like, oh, I have a zit here, or my face is red here. Like, people are going to think I'm so ugly and I'm a tomato and like all of this stuff. My bags are awful. Like, I would think so many bad things about myself, but now I'm just like, I don't care. Like, if somebody doesn't like me because I don't have makeup on my face, then screw them. Like, my boyfriend and my family thinks I'm beautiful with and without makeup. So that's all that matters.
Exactly. Yeah, Sam, I really didn't wear makeup in high school a whole lot either.
Mhm.
And one of the things that Sam always told me, even when we were dating, he's like, you realize how beautiful you are without it, right?
Mhm.
I mean, he's very excited that I do magical makeup with Christy, because he's like, if you want makeup, I want to buy you the good stuff. I don't just want to go buy you, the 99-cent stuff that's going to break you out. Like, I had an eyeshadow give me pimples on my eyelids, and I made the joke with him. I'm like, honey, my bag is full. He goes, oh, good. That means we need to buy you another bag. Thank you, Christy. I mean, he's thrilled. He's like, what do we need? What do you need to get you? What how can we make this, what do you need? So, I mean, and I remember when I first started coming on Magical Makeup with Christy, and I'm like, you're not getting me a 10-foot pole to put any of that stuff on.
She was like, this is kind of uncomfortable, but I'm doing it.
I was like, I'll just mark tallies of how many eyeshadows Christy. She's got 30 different eyeshadows on her. What is she doing?
She's like, Sam, there's something wrong with her.
I've always, well, no, I can't say I've always, because as a kid, I had an older brother. Well, I have 3 siblings. One is a half sibling, but me and my brother are closest in age. He's only 3 years older than me. And I didn't meet my half sibling until I was 27, 28. But we weren't wealthy, to say the least. We weren't a wealthy family. And him being 3 years older than me, I wore a lot of his hand-me-down stuff. So I wasn't girly. I didn't do makeup at all until high school, and I did like the bare minimum of makeup, and I was a tomboy. I didn't wear dresses. I didn't, like, if I didn't have to, I didn't wash my hair. I ran around outside shooting like little gun thingies, you know what I mean? Like the little Nerf ball guns instead of playing with dolls. Don't get me wrong, I had Barbie dolls and I had trolls, which I loved trolls.
You're showing our age, Christy.
I know. But I wasn't girly. I would wear jeans and a Nirvana t-shirt. And like, I wouldn't brush my hair. I wouldn't, like, I was very much a tomboy. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until, I want to say, probably sophomore year in high school, maybe junior year in high school, before I got out of the phase. I got made fun of for hairy legs.
Me too. I wasn't able to shave until I was 13, and I am one hairy son of a gun.
Well, I have blonde hair, so the hair on my legs was blonde. And
jet black hair. I look like Chewbacca.
I was in 8th grade. So what was that? 13, 14?
12, 13, 14 in there, yeah.
When I was being made fun of for my hairy legs, and I was wearing shorts that day because it was field day. And I was so upset about it. I went home crying, and I was like, am I not supposed to have hairy legs? I didn't know. No one told me anything. I didn't know about the female reproductive system. I didn't know any of that. And
we learned that in like 6th grade, 5th grade. We learned that in 5th grade.
Well, they mentioned it in 5th grade. Like, they did like a talk at school, but I didn't know anything about any of it until it actually happened. And so I went home to my mom crying, and she's like, I guess it's that time. So that's when she took me and got me a razor, got me deodorant. Didn't have deodorant until then. And I was very much a tomboy.
Well, my mom is older, probably kind of like Christy's mom, and it just wasn't spoken about. You don't talk about sex. You don't talk about periods. You don't talk about shaving your legs. You don't talk about any of that. It's unspoken. You don't. You just do like Mom, I need to shave my legs. Just go over there. Shh! We don't talk about that. You don't. It's very that generation did not talk about it. And I went to the pool one day, kind of like Christy, and I didn't know I needed to shave under my arms. And some of the boys go, "You have man arms." I'm like, "What?" And I went home crying. And Mom's like, "Do you realize that once you start doing that?" I'm like, "Mom, it looks like I have a beaver under my arm." And Mom's like, oh, "I guess if you really want to, go ahead." I was middle school, but she's like, "No, don't talk about it." And
like my mom about shaving, she wasn't weird about that. She was just like, "You need to wait," like blah blah blah. But I got picked on because I had very instinctive, like you can see I wore shorts and people would make fun of me. And that was in like 5th grade, 6th grade. And so over the summer, before going to middle school, I was able to shave. But my mom didn't really like give me the talk about the birds and the bees and teach me how to use like tampon and all of that stuff.
That was up to church. That was left up to our church to do.
I didn't even know what a tampon was until high school when somebody asked me if I had one. I was like, "What is that?"
Yeah, I didn't know until I was like 8th grade, I think, and my friend's mom taught me how to use it.
Yeah, my mom was a very anti-tampon because it would take away my virginity.
And whatever, they would not.
You have to remember, yesterday was my dad's 83rd birthday. My mom is just as the age of retirement in February. So she's 68? 65, 68? Very much the generation that we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
I had all of my bathroom stuff as a teen in a little tub, like a little basket that I could take to the bathroom and back to my room. And it was in my room, and my Howard was over, and he went to go get something out of the closet that was in there that had like blankets and pillows and stuff. He's like, "What is that?" And I went, "That's my bathroom basket." He goes, "Mom, why does she have shaving cream, and why does she have razors, and why is all that in her room?" She's I think I was 13 or 14 at that point. She goes, "You can explain to your brother why you have it." And I'm like, "No, that's personal. I'm not going to tell my brother about shaving my legs. Thank you very much."
Yeah.
That may be
like I think it's really important because for the longest time, I was embarrassed to buy pads and tampons. Like oh my God, I go to self-checkout. Like, thank God there's self-checkout. Like, because I don't want anybody to see that I'm buying this. Like, I don't want any. What if I'm like, when you're at, like, what if the cute boy at school sees me getting this? Like, what is he gonna think? You know, like, and you did that, put it like in your hand and hit it. Like, now I'm like, hey, go to the bathroom. Yeah.
You wear. Like, when Sam and I we were engaged, I was out of pads, and I'm like, "I just need to go into the store real quick." He's like, "Why?" And I go, "I just do." He's like, "Okay, can I do it for you?" I'm like, "Okay, you want to go buy pads? You really, you want to go buy pads?" And he's like, "I'll go do it. I love you." He came out with the right. I told him, like, it looks like this. See, because I pulled one out of my bag. I was mean. I mean, sometimes we typically are, but. And he comes out and goes, "I bought you some chocolate, and here's your pads." And he's like, it wasn't a big deal. It really wasn't.
You know what I find still embarrassing to this day? So let me see. Do you guys have to replenish your bacteria down there after you take an antibiotic? Do you know what I mean when I say that?
Sometimes, yes. I know.
Okay. I still get totally embarrassed when I have to go get something to take care of that.
Yeah, I get actually, like, runs in my family, UTIs and stuff like that. Like, I get them a lot and stuff, and I used to be really embarrassed to have to like go and get the serum and like, but now I'm like, I get them so much that like I can message my doctor and say, "Hey, can you get some pills in the pharmacy so I can go get them? But yeah, I don't, and like, we shouldn't be embarrassed about how our bodies are. Like, female and male, like, our bodies do weird things. They have smells, they don't have smells, they go through all these changes and stuff like that. And like, I think it's so sad that we were taught, like, don't talk about that. If you're a guy, this is how it is. If you're a girl, this is how it is. And girls don't talk about this or this or this. Like, guys, like,
it's
whatever.
like shaming. It like, I felt like growing up, if you had Aunt Flo over, you were shamed. You shouldn't go outside and work out and play. You shouldn't. Well, let me tell you, working out is the one thing that gets rid of my cramps.
Mm-hmm. Well, and like for me too, like, I know there's like smaller ones, but I always felt like people are going to know if I'm wearing my pad. Like, people are going to know, and this and that. And like, you had your little secret, like, pad bag that you would take when you go to the bathroom. And like, you just felt like when you're going to the bathroom during that time, everybody in the class is just watching you, which they're not. But like, I think, like, and I hope one day that schools do this. I think that when they're teaching kids this, the girls and the boys should stay in class together. Like, when I was in school, the boys went one way and the girls went one way, and the girls were lectured, and like, you could hear the boys in the room next to us like laughing and having fun and all of this stuff. And for the girls, it was serious. It was like, no, this is this and this is this. And you're like, oh my God. Like,
we did. We here in Kansas, there's a town called Halstead, and they have a what is it called? It's a no, it's gonna bug me.
Clinic, I'm gonna go put my bowl in the sink and get some water though.
The Kansas Learning Center for Health in Halstead. I'm like, hold on. I know it's I know what it's called. I had to get it back in my brain. And we literally, like, we had to go learn. It was 5th grade, and they split the girls and boys up. But we went to the opposite. Like, the girls went to like learn about the guys, and the guys went to go learn about the girls. And like, I think it backfired on them, because the boys went and bought pads and tampons and came to school and started chucking them at us.
That's terrible. So our first educational class was in middle school, and it was separated, and they did talk to us about like what happens to a female. And then they had what they called a sex ed class, but that wasn't until high school. And it would be boys and girls, and they would talk about STDs and things like that. And they would even like gave you situations. They pulled like 7 people up front, and they're like, okay, 5 people have regular chocolate and 2 people have X-Lax. And that this is the ratio of how many people are going to get an STD during that process. And I was like, wait a minute. So they didn't make the people eat the X-Lax, but when they unwrapped it, but they were trying to scare you out of being.
Yeah, I think, and that's like the thing, is it shouldn't be something you're feared of. Also, did you see Randy? Only time guys knew or bothered with what gals had going on in school is when they skipped PE class. That was like, when you are like in a teen and you're going through that, PE class is traumatizing. Like, because you're like, I don't know about yours, but you have those like PE uniforms, and they were always like gray. Like, oh yeah, ours was like light gray. So like,
we just brought t-shirt and shorts.
Yeah, no, we had like light gray shorts and like a light gray white.
They think they have one now.
And ours said our last names on it. And then we had to, which this is kind of off topic, but we had to have our locks, and they had to put our first, middle, and last initial on it. And when I went up, the teacher like asked me like what, because it was like first day, so there was a bunch of teachers in there and stuff, and I was like SAM, and she's like, not your nickname. And I was like, that's not my nickname. And she's like, what is your name then? I was like, Samantha Ashley Myers, SAM. And she's like, oh, okay. I was like,
well, and see, when we were in school, I think it was always
Good for you, Randy.
And co-techs. Our nurse was awesome because it was one of my friend's mom and applied for one of their programs, and she got big. They were like the size of refrigerator boxes of pads, tampons, and from both of them, from Kotex and Always. And there was just these 4 lockers in the girls' locker room, just full. And all you had to do was like pull out of the bottom. The way they set it, they shortened the doors of these lockers, and all you had to do was pull them out the bottom. And we're like, we can use those. And she's like, yeah, if you want to take some home with you, do it. We've got more. They sent us 4 refrigerator boxes of each brand. I was never that I didn't use, because we were on the lower side, and so it was always like the Walmart brand or the Dollar General brand that felt like you were sitting on a brick.
Yeah.
And and then they had these, and I was like, wow. And then
you're like, I'll take 10.
Right. And then like now they have the Always Infinities. And they like feel like nothing, and they made me cry. I was so happy, and I actually did a travel tip Thursday on them, and you could tell I was like upset and cranky when I was doing the video because it was during that time, and I'm like, you don't understand how awesome these are.
That's so funny. Randy said, I hated working out, hated running in PE. LOL. Now here I am hoping for Run Disney runs.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
awesome.
Same. Like I've always been a bigger gal, and I really think that my dad is a little overweight, but he really wasn't until he was out of the Army. My oldest, but like diabetes and stuff runs on both sides. Because it runs so prevalently, I am checked about every year, but I don't have it. But I think part of it is the gluten and the dairy that I'm working on getting out of my system. But I also think that I've got some sort of autoimmune, because they're like, if the doctors say, I was watching a TikTok, if you've got weird weight gain, you can't lose it well, and you've got these other symptoms, which I have them all, you may have an autoimmune disease, which I'm pretty sure that gluten and dairy are autoimmune diseases, or they're just food allergy.
I think gluten's an autoimmune. I think I think they're both autoimmune, because if it was just a food allergy, it wouldn't have that big of an effect on your life. And like when you change it, you wouldn't lose so much weight and have such big changes in your health and everything like that if it wasn't more than just an allergy.
Like I will work, and I mean, I know, you know, Sam can eat whatever the heck he wants. Go to the gym, work out, lose 10 pounds in a week. I can eat salads and chicken for a week, really watch what I'm eating, eat no gluten, and I gain 2 pounds.
I mean, since I've been working out, I started at 169, and now I fluctuate between 172, and I went to the doctor's Monday and I weighed 178. Like I
don't. If you weigh in somewhere else, you actually can show proof of that weight and give it to your doctor. Because doctor scales are notoriously wrong.
Yeah, they are.
The only other place I'm weighing in at is the BioLife place. I have a scale here, which is probably also a wrong scale.
Does the BioLife place like have an app or some way that you track your weight on?
No, but I'm not too concerned about it. And like my doctor wasn't concerned about it either.
Well, no, here's the thing. A doctor's scale will actually run 5 to 10 pounds heavier than what you actually are.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that makes more sense, because there are times though, like, and I think that even like BioLife runs a little bit higher, because sometimes I'll go on the scale at kickboxing and I'm like 170. But then when I'm at BioLife, I'm like 174, 175. And
that is because it is a consistent use. And the scale can break. And so I don't do it more during the summer because my day isn't structured like it is at school.
I'm going to pause you for a second, Lena, because Randy just said something that's like my biggest pet peeve is when people say muscle weighs more than fat. A pound is a pound, whether it's bricks or feathers. It's the mass that is in that pound. So a pound of muscle and a pound of fat are the same. A pound of fat's just more airy, so your body's more spread out, where a pound of muscle is more dense, so your body is more put together. That, I don't know why, but that drives me crazy. It's not just you, Randy. Like, so many people say it in my life, and I'm like, a pound of bricks and a pound of feather are the same. One's a lot more dense than the other. Like, sorry, Lena, I didn't mean to cut you off. That's like my, like, not just you, Randy. It's, there's so many people in my life that say that, and I'm like, no.
But like when I'm doing my Weight Watchers during the school year, and I have a doctor's appointment, because typically, I think my diabetes check is scheduled for October or November, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go in and I show them my app and I go, I will not weigh. Here's what I just weighed in at home via Weight Watchers on my app. And they're like, well, one of the nurses argued with me for a full 10 minutes and said, you have to get on our scale. And I said, no, I don't. Legally, you can't make me anyway. You only need to know my weight if I need some sort of medication. I don't. I'm here for a blood draw.
Right.
And it was a new nurse. And Vicky, one of the main nurses, goes, what is going on out here? We can hear you down the hall. And I go, I am informing her I am not getting on the scale. I showed her my Weight Watchers app, and she will not accept that as my current weight. And the nurse looks at her and goes, that is her current weight. You actually can write that down. That is not approved. And she goes, neither is that. We don't, legally, she doesn't have to stand foot on that scale. We only need it if she needs medication. And I just looked at the nurse and grinned. She goes, I am the nurse. You are the patient. And I went, who knows more than you do? I go, yes,
like,
I know.
Okay, just because you are a nurse and I'm a patient doesn't mean you can just put whatever you want in my body and make my body do whatever you want. Like, I know,
I'm like, lady, I know I'm fat. I've been fat my whole life. I get that. And yeah, I probably gain a little bit more over the summer because I'm a lot more sedentary than I am during the school year, which when I'm moving up and down through over stairs, around schools, I get that. I gain a little bit more. It's instead of winter weight, I put on summer weight. It's okay. I will live.
Randy, I'm not mad at you. I just saw this comment. It wasn't like an attack to you. It's just like one of those things. Like if people use their blinkers, it just like fires you up. Like that's just one of my pet peeves, and it's nothing to you. I know you were just joking around and stuff like that. I had to say it out there for anybody who has stuck around for this long and rewatches this, that they just know that a pound is a pound, no matter what the mass is.
But yeah, the head nurse Vicky goes, yeah, a lot of people come in here with their weight loss apps, and I just write down their last weight. And then this younger nurse, she probably was brand new out of medical school, and she's like, I don't accept that. And the head nurse goes, whether or not you accept it or not, it's legal, and she doesn't have to step on that scale. Lena, what are you here for? I'm like, I'm here for a blood draw for diabetes. She goes, oh, it's your yearly check. I go, yeah, I just want to go get it done and go home. She goes, come on, I'll take care of it. And this nurse is yelling, no, I have to get her weight. And the nurse goes, I already did. She's like, Lena,
I don't know. Sometimes I had a really bad experience because I go to Family Medical, and they are like an ever evolving, like it's like a school and stuff. So like now I have somebody that's like a nurse practitioner. Like she's there always. Like she's an actual employee there because
a nurse practitioner.
Yeah. So I was at the point where, or I don't know what she's like official. She's a doctor. I don't know. She's
the nurse practitioner. That means she doesn't have her full doctor's degree, but she's right under a doctor.
Okay, yeah. So I have her because I had a really good like doctor that was in training and stuff, and then she obviously moved and graduated. And then the next one I had, she was awful, like so bad. She weighed way more than me, and I have always been a heavier weight because I like, and I don't look it, but because I have my muscle, so I'm a heavy lean weight, and so I've always been like kind of looked down on for my weight and stuff like this. And this nurse goes, you're overweight for your height. And I said, okay. And she said, what do you eat in a day? And I was like, told her, and she's like, well, that's not enough. And she's like, do you exercise? And I was like, I do this and this. And she's like, well, clearly you need to do more. She was so mean to me, and I wanted to be like, lady, you're double my size. Maybe you should be taking your own advice. Like, I wanted to say that so badly, but I am not that person. I'm just like, okay, like, thanks. Like, and even if I was overweight, that's not how you should talk to somebody who is overweight, because you don't know what struggles they're struggling with. You don't know where they're going through. And I just, like, I hate when people are just so judgmental. And I feel like that's what that nurse that wanted you to stand on the scale was. Like, she saw what you were in for and she was like, no, you need to, kind of thing. Like, that's the vibe I got from the story you're telling me. And it just makes me so mad.
And this nurse was about the size of my little finger. So I as we walked away, I actually go, don't step out in the wind. And she goes, why? I go, because the wind's going to snap you like a twig.
That's the end of Sami's birthday. Da, 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 da.
I'm going to go grab some more coffee, and I'm not going to be gone as long this time. Because I've already taken care of the fridge.
Okay, we're going to timer and go.
Run!
So I got you. Drive the wife 30 minutes to Greensville because they have a better Weight Watchers place. I'm like, whatever works for you, let's go. I love my Weight Watchers, and here's why. And I advocate for them all the time. I'm not paid by them. I pay them way too much money to not do it half the time. But what I like about it is that, one, there's 3 different ways to do it. There's green, blue, and purple. Do you need to be eating more to work with your brain? Great, you're on green. Are you kind of in the middle where you want to eat more, but you don't want to live on 0-point foods? You're blue. Are you keto? Are you wanting to do mainly plant-based veggies, keto style? Then you're on purple. What works for you? Here, we'll help you go where you need to go. I do blue. I find that the green is way too many points in the day. I can't eat them all. And if I have these points, it makes me think I have to eat them, and it doesn't benefit me. On purple, I don't eat enough 0-point foods in the course of a day to make it work. I can't eat fish. I can't eat seafood, which is a lot of the 0-point foods. Sometimes during month times, I can't eat eggs. The smell of them I can't. They smell like sulfur during that. And then, I can't just live on grapes. That's not me. If I were living on grapes, I wouldn't be fat. So I live in the blue section where I eat my 0-point foods like my fruits and my eggs and my chicken and my salads. But then over here, I can have a gluten-free brownie. I can have cake. I can have a donut. I can have a tortilla. I can go out to eat. I can live my life. And that's what it's about. And the nice thing is I'm not going to the grocery store going, okay, I have to buy this food. 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 And 5 things, and I've spent $500. And it tastes like cardboard. That's not how it works. I can put chicken tenders in my air fryer, spray a little bit of olive oil spray on them, sprinkle it with Mrs. Dash, and have it in a wrap, and I have lunch. And it's like, if I put ranch in it, or if I add a non-low carb tortilla, maybe 5 points out of my whole day. So it doesn't cause me to have to pay for extra food that doesn't taste good. And I know that there's so many different weight loss plans because each person needs a different thing. Like, I know a lot of people like Nutrisystem because they need that structure and they don't want to cook for themselves. I helped volunteer at our local food bank, and I had somebody walk in and literally hand me a box of Nutrisystem food. And I'm like, what is this? They're like, we got Nutrisystem and it tastes like cardboard. We're donating it here. Like, okay, thanks. And so I took it in and I told him what it was. So we weighed it and put it in the freezer, and we were leaving, and I go, can I take one of these? It was like little personal pizza things. And I go, can I take this home? Because I want to try one. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. You were volunteering today. So I took a couple of them home, and literally, even after they were cooked, it would be the same thing as trying to eat my phone. I'm like, no wonder people lose weight on Nutrisystem. They can't eat. You both are muted, so I'm like talking to myself.
Sorry. My thing with that is like, whatever I don't believe in diets. Let's make that clear, because whatever if you're trying to lose weight, then you need to change your way of life. So it's not a diet. It's something of how you're going to live your life going forward. And that's why I do keto, because my food tastes good. Like it's really good. All my food. I don't eat stuff that tastes bad. I may like buy some keto snacks or something and try them and not like them, and I won't buy them again. But there is nothing wrong with indulging every now and then. A good example is we went to have Mexican the other day, and I got some frozen margaritas. That's definitely not on my way of life. But if you drink frozen margaritas every day, you're going to gain weight. You're probably going to end up dying from liver failure or something like that too. Right. But it, like any kind of diet, is a way of life, because if you stop your diet, if you're dieting and you lose 30 pounds and you stop your diet, you're going to gain 40.
Yep.
So it's a way of life change. And I fluctuate too. Like most of the time I stay at like anywhere between 160 to 165 pounds. When I go to Disney, I gain 12 pounds because I completely drop my way of life and indulge. I come back, and in 4 days, that 12 pounds is gone, because 10 of that 12 pounds is water weight anyway. So
when I was doing Weight Watchers, one of the many times, and I think it was our 2015 trip, I was paying for the in-meeting sessions for Weight Watchers. And now I just do it online, because between Weight Watchers Connect and TikTok and these guys, I have the support that I need. And I don't pay, I pay $20 instead of $60. And we got back from Disney, and I'm like, I don't know how this is going to go. Like, I was closing my eyes. Like, I told the receptionist, I'm like, I don't know how this was going to go. I just got back from Disney. And she's like, well, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and, move past it. I'm like, right. So I stood on the scale, and she goes, all right, open your eyes. I said, I don't want to know. She goes, open your eyes. I had lost a pound.
Oh, nice. See,
I'm like, how did I go to Disney, eat on the dining plan, and lose a pound? And she's like, I don't know.
Probably really active and needing those carbohydrates anyway.
I thought about it. We did the dance party, the over into the Tomorrowland dance party. We did it 3 nights in a row at Magic Kingdom, just bopping around dancing, 3 like crazy people. And she's like, the receptionist was like, we're gonna put, because they would do like Bravos at the end of the meeting. She's like, I'm going to put down for a Bravo that you lost a pound at Disney World. And I'm like, if they're expecting me to tell you how I did it, I can't. And then later, like I said, I thought, I bet it was the dance parties. So I was like,
that's the other thing when you go to like a theme park or whatever, if your way of life of eating is based on a more sedentary life, like obviously everyone is more sedentary than when they are at Disney. Let's be real. No one is walking 8 hours a day unless you have a stand-up walking job. Then your body's going to need those extra carbohydrates that you wouldn't normally eat on your normal day-to-day way of life, which is perfectly fine. Don't feel bad about getting off your diet every now and or your way of life every now and then. But I've never done Weight Watchers, but I have friends that have family members that have. And to me, everything they've told me is also not really considered a diet unless you're eating their food that they offer.
Yeah.
They're actually teaching you how to eat properly for the future.
Yep.
And that's why they have check-ins. The check-ins are to be like, okay, so this is where you're at. And the check-ins are not to shame you for not losing weight. They're to encourage you to realize that your way of life and your changing your diet is actually working.
Yeah.
And that's everything I've heard about Weight Watchers.
Like I said, I'm not a paid influencer for them. Hey, if you're watching, I'd love to be. I need to be better about it. Like I said, I don't know if you were here or not. I love that they've split it into the 3 color groups: the green, the blue, and the purple. Green for people who need to eat a little bit more. Purple is like more your keto, plant-based, vegetarian style pescatarians, because it's like all the 0 point foods with very little input for anything outside of that. But blue's right in the middle. I can eat my chicken and my eggs and my salad and my fruit for my 0 points. But on the other hand, I can still have my gluten-free brownies and my cake and my coffee. And so here's the thing. I just sit there and go, yeah, that looks like enough chocolate. Really what I should do is go, okay, how many servings is this? Okay, and FYI, do not buy, if you're going to lose weight, pick and choose the things that you are not willing to sacrifice and plan for them. Like, I've tried Hershey's Simply 5 and Hershey's Light, and they taste like poo. They do not taste good. They taste like poo. When the school year starts up and I get back into the flow of packing my lunch and eating on a normal schedule again, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my caramel syrup and my Hershey syrup. I'm going to spray my measuring spoon with a little bit of cooking spray, measure out my chocolate syrup, and drizzle it in my cup. Same for my caramel. Same for I'm going to measure out my coffee syrup, because I'm not willing to sacrifice that. Because if I'm going to eat the other, I've got leeway for a few points for Hershey syrup that actually tastes like Hershey syrup and not like poo.
I don't know that I know what milk chocolate tastes like anymore. I used to think that I liked milk chocolate, and then I switched to dark chocolate, and I really like dark chocolate. And then I've tried milk chocolate once before after switching to dark, and it was just too milky and sweet to me.
I don't know if Hershey has a dark chocolate syrup. Do they?
I don't know. I buy oh my gosh. I'll go get it because I can't think of the name. Hold on.
Do, 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 do.
I actually was I know somebody that started their weight loss journey when they were getting on a cruise.
Who did?
EECC Travels, Jason. It was like a few years ago. But he's like, I'm gonna start watching what I eat. I'm like, getting on a cruise ship, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, that's like the worst time to start like being health conscious.
He's like, I'm not having cake. And I'm going, there's seriously wrong with you. But he did it and he lost weight. But I'm like,
but you're like on a really expensive cruise. Like, that's the time to divulge.
Ghirardelli 92% cacao, which is dark chocolate.
Yeah. Good.
I like it more bitter anyway.
Sam really likes dark chocolate. So
I do not like white chocolate. That's just way too
I hate white chocolate. Ugh.
There is something seriously wrong with the two of you then.
I'm not a big chocolate person, honestly. Like, if I'm gonna have sweets, it's sours. Like, I love sour candy.
Oh.
See, that's my weakness is sitting and snacking.
Mine too.
Oh, I eat snacks, but it's usually like a meat and cheese stick or something like that. I mean, I get the keto box too. I've tried different keto boxes and things, and they all are pretty much the same. But I get a keto box, and they'll send like beef jerky, and I tried something. I tried it a couple of weeks ago, and it's in a reel. They had keto cereal. It was so good. I was like, that's the first time I've had cereal in like 2 years. So good.
That's great. It's a long time to not have cereal. I mean, I don't eat a lot of cereal, but I like eating cereal dry since I can't have milk. And I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch with no milk. Oh, so good.
I do. I just have a whole lot of different things. I will say I've got some snacks recently. They were like birthday cake. I showed them to you one day. It's like birthday cake muffins, keto muffins. They are so dense though. And it's one purse, like one of them is a serving and they're like this big. So they're really small. But I like getting the different snacks because they have all sorts of different kinds of things. My favorite things are probably the cheese puffs. Not the cheese, like, I don't know, there's different things, but there's some that are cheese puff and they're like ranch flavored. They're super good.
See, I like eating too much that I don't think I could ever like go on a lifestyle change like that. Like, I think I could do better with portioning and stuff like that, but I can't just cut out, like, I love pasta too much. I love bread too much. Like, I don't.
Well, you can do gluten-free pasta that's also considered keto.
Yeah, but I don't like. I've tried gluten-free pasta, and I don't like gluten-free pasta.
Have you tried like vegetable pasta?
I will say, Sammy, gluten-free pasta has come a long way in the past couple of years. It used to be like really sticky, and it's not. This is one of my favorite gluten-free pastas. It's Barilla.
Have you tried spaghetti squash?
I mean, I eat their normal pasta, the Barilla stuff. Have I tried what?
Spaghetti squash?
No, I want to though.
It's so good. And then if you really like pizza, there's keto crust, there's cauliflower crust. Cauliflower crust has more carbs than keto crust, but it's still considered keto friendly. There's a difference between keto and keto friendly. Keto friendly means it depends on where you're at in your keto lifestyle change. Like if you are trying to lose weight, then your intake needs to be somewhere between 10 to 20 carbs per day, which is really, really low. But most people that are in that eat keto but aren't trying to drop weight stick around 50 carbs per day. Mm-hmm. So if you're in that range, then keto friendly is fine. But there's just so many things that taste so good. And I will say that when I was measuring everything and trying to be completely keto and lose the 70 pounds that I lost, I couldn't eat the amount of food they wanted me to eat. I was like, I am so full, I can't eat this.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I liked food too much. It's like I just could not eat everything. It was so much because you're looking at the way the keto life is high fat, but healthy fats. You can eat the dirty fats. It's called dirty keto. That's fine. It works too. You just can't sustain life on dirty keto constantly because you're eating a crap ton of bacon and that's not exactly the healthiest thing to do. But that's how I started. I was
not healthy a day.
I started with dirty keto. I was like, I don't want to have to prepare food all the time. So I started my keto life, dirty keto. I was eating hamburgers without the bun and freaking bacon. And my first 30, 40 pounds was doing dirty keto. Yeah, it's so much food. It's hard to actually eat that much food. And it's a high fat content, but healthy, moderate protein and low carb. And when you're eating high fat and moderate protein, it fills you up much quicker. You would think that carbs would, like pasta and stuff. And yes, pasta fills you up, but then you're hungry quicker. When you have healthy fats and proteins, you stay full longer. And it also helps you build your muscle. I mean, so if you're working out, it goes hand in hand.
I mean, I probably should be better with my lifestyle of eating, just in general. Not eat out as much as I do.
I'm cool with you eating tacos every Friday night.
Like that was how I felt on the green, like on green for Weight Watchers. It felt like it was so much food. and so many points. It was like, I felt like, and especially working at the school, I can't just eat the whole time. Like, I can, at the school, I've got like a break where I can eat a snack, like a string cheese and some pretzels or something real quick.
Yeah.
But on green, I felt like I was having to eat every 30 minutes. I was eating something. And I'm like, as soon as I sit down and eat something and finish it, I'm in making another snack. What the heck?
Yeah.
I can't sustain that. One, I'll eat us out of the house. And so
That's a lot of food to eat.
On the green program, I think I had like 60 or 70 points. But on blue, I've got like 30, I think 39 is what I should be eating.
Yeah, I have a coworker. It's not Weight Watchers. I don't know what she's doing, but well, she's not doing it as heavily. But she was like leaving like every 2 hours to go eat. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you can't just leave every 2 hours to go eat. Like, I think some of the plans that they have out there for people are not really that healthy. Like,
they're not realistic.
No.
And in realistic, I mean, they expect you to stop everything that you're doing and go eat something.
Maybe if that was what like your job was, you could do it, but when it's not your job.
I'm pretty lucky, like in the middle school area. Like, if I need to stop and go to the bathroom, I just leave, because they're 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. Like, I'll kind of like, if there's another parent in there, I'll just kind of like point down towards the bathroom and like, you know, we kind of have hand gestures. Like, but the teachers really can't do that. The parents, we just walk out.
Right. They're like, I gotta go potty.
Like, literally, I came into, I think it was either 7th grade science, or no, it was one of the 6th grade, because the 6th grade teachers really don't walk out and leave their students alone. So I think it was 6th grade science. Well, she goes, oh, thank goodness you're here. And I went, what's going on? She goes, I have to potty. I'm like, okay, enjoy.
That's funny.
I mean,
like, go on now.
It happened at the 4th grade too. I walked, like, I have about an hour and a half for lunch because I ride the bus. So I have a much longer lunch break than all of the other paras.
Yeah.
And the teachers. And I started popping. I popped in one day on my lunch. She goes, Lena, I know you're on lunch, but can you please stay in here for just like 5 minutes? And I'm like, yeah, what's going on? She's like, I have to go to the bathroom. I'm like, okay. So that was about the time that I was getting to the school. So I say the rest of the school year, when I would first get to the school, I would get in school, take my temp, and go straight to the classroom so she could run and go to the bathroom, because there was like an hour and a half gap in there that there was no para in the classroom to watch the classroom.
Oh my God.
She would either have to stop in the middle of teaching to go to the bathroom, hey Blaine, or wait until I got there. And so I'm like, I've got an hour and a half for lunch. I can spare 5-10 minutes of my lunch break so she can go to the potty.
Right. Poor girl.
Right. So it was random topics this morning on.
I know, we've been all over the place today.
Well, I mean, that's what Coffee Corner is. We just talk about whatever.
It's whatever comes up. Speaking of bathroom, I will be right back.
Okay. I'm just cutting my ear sew lines for ears. I like to have like a bunch of these just ready to go. So that way I just have to cut the fabric and I don't have to worry about doing that second part. And I just ran out the last time I made ears. So I'm like, I got to stock up on those.
When I went to go get more coffee, I went to the bathroom. When I went to go get the chocolate. Speaking of my more coffee, it's a good thing today is grocery day because I ran out of cream and had to use my other stuff, which doesn't taste as good.
What's the theme for tomorrow night?
Stars and Stripes.
Okay. I'll be late, but I'll be there.
Okay. I'm going through the grocery list, making sure everything's going to fit in the fridge since,
I was away when you were talking about that. What happened to your fridge?
So we have two. We have one out in the garage and then the one in the house. And the one out in the garage quit working. So I had to go through both fridges and condense down to one.
Do you know, is it an easy fix or is it dead?
It's dead.
Oh, shoot. So are you buying a new fridge this week then?
Oh, no, probably not. That one was free to us. And I think I've made it to where everything fits in one. That fridge in the garage was really just used for like frozen pizzas and drinks. So instead of keeping, a whole case of waters in the refrigerator, we'll just keep 4 or 5 in the refrigerator. Right. It's not a big deal.
Do you have I know we have one. It's a Facebook group for our area that's like freebie stuff that people are getting rid of.
We have our county Facebook sales or whatever, and sometimes they post free stuff.
Well, we have that too, but we have ones especially for stuff that people are just getting rid of for free. And I see refrigerators pop up on there all the time.
I'm sure.
People, it still works, but they upgraded, and so they're just giving the old one away. And I've thought several times, I'm like, man, I wish we had a secondary fridge for, like you say, just for drinks.
Mm-hmm.
Or just to have that extra, I have a deep freeze. We've had that since we were in the Army. Because the on-base housing has what they call apartment refrigerators. They're a full-size refrigerator, but they're smaller. It's not a dorm fridge, but it's a slender version of a regular refrigerator. So a lot less
storage
space. So we bought a deep freeze to be able to have more freezer space. So
our freezer is small too, but I'll say I had been needing a reason to clean out both freezers because I'll just buy stuff and stuff it in there and not use it. I had 10 things of broccoli in there. I threw most of them out. I did it by expiration date, and I threw most of them out, and I put 2 or 3 in there because I never make broccoli ever.
I love broccoli.
I do too, but I never make it.
You need an air fryer because you can air fry broccoli and sprinkle ranch on it.
I do. I have it on my Christmas list, and it's a Disney one.
I want a Disney air fryer. My air fryer, so I love my air fryer so much. It is actually technically broken, but it works. It's just the basket, I can't flip it out, or the basket just falls out. It's not connected anymore. And I am until this thing dies, I'm not buying a new one because it still works, but I love it. I use it so much. It's definitely my most used item in my kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a big spider on my screen outside, and it's ugly looking. I don't like that.
It's outside. I think you're all right.
Oh, but it's what if it finds a way inside?
Then he finds a way inside.
And then I die.
We'll be sad.
Will you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Will you miss me?
Yes.
Really, really?
Yes.
I love how Christy and I say it the same exact way at the same exact
Yes!
Guys, I've had this nasty cough for 4 days now, and it was so bad the other day my voice sounded weird, though I don't have a sore throat. But at one point throughout the day, that same day, I felt nauseous and feverish. I was like, what is wrong with me? But as fast as it came, it went away.
There's been a really nasty, not corona cold, but where people are getting a bad cough and feeling that thing, and they're testing negative for corona. I think it's just the summer flu that's out. Everyone's out and about more, and the winter flu kind of got skipped over. So I think it's the summer flu.
Well, at least for me, I get those same symptoms with allergies, and it's harvest season. So like, we live right on the main road, and I think last night, like, they're still cutting in the rain because they can't, like, they're having to cut some of the stuff so that it doesn't go bad.
Yeah. You know, sorry, this is a train of thought, but I never realized that like in like the UK they call it hay fever.
We call it hay fever over here too.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard it called that way.
Really?
Yeah, I like it better than allergies. I got hay fever.
Hay fever is its own part of allergies.
Yeah, it's a little different, but
yeah.
What's the difference?
It's usually more extreme. It's like so impactful that you can almost not function.
Oh. Interesting. Are you technically at work right now, Christy?
Huh?
I said, are you technically at work right now?
I am, yeah.
Like hay fever around here, it pops up more with harvest because they're kicking up dirt and dust and particles of things are floating in the air. And like, I know one of my friends here in town has hay fever really bad, and she breaks out like in like big blotchy rashes.
Oh.
And that just itch. And she has to like live and like almost lay in Benadryl.
Oh.
You know, like so you know, in the fall when you go to go through a corn maze.
Yes.
So the ones around here, they quit doing it with corn and now do it with hay. And I can't go in them at all because I start itching like crazy. I can't stop sneezing. My face swells.
Why did they change to hay?
I don't know.
I know one year they changed to hay here because the corn didn't grow tall enough. We didn't have enough rain during corn growing season. And because wheat grows so tall and then it buds at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Corn has to keep growing and the corn comes off of the stalk. And so if it doesn't get enough rain in that growing period, it's only going to get so tall.
Mm-hmm.
So probably the corn didn't get tall enough to warrant a maze where the hay was tall enough.
Is it like, because I'm thinking like hay barrels, or is it just like fresh out in the...
Oh, no, it's wheat stalks.
Wheat stalks. Like they carved it, like they harvest. My guess is that the wheat harvest for them wasn't going to be good enough. The heads may have been big, but inside it was really small. That happened here a couple years ago too. And it made more, and their corn wasn't producing, so they cut down the corn, left the hay, the wheat up, carved the maize out of it, baled it, and then made the maize that way. And then when the season was over, they baled it.
Does the hay and the wheat and the corn grow together?
No, they're separate fields, but yeah, I guess so. I don't know. There was one that was really cool and they quit doing it altogether. But the other one, they switched from corn to hay. And it might have been just because they're also now like this huge farm and it's called Lucky Lads. And they have like, I mean, they monopolize off of the season. There's so many things. It costs so much to go in there. And all they really have is like the hay maze, a hay ride, and then like some slides that they made out of pipes and things like that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Do they do scary haunted corn hay maze?
Yes.
This one does not know. Hers may, but ours doesn't. We do have some haunted corn mazes around the Nashville area, but I've never been to any of them.
There's one out here. Well, not last year, the year before, it wasn't like you just stood in line and then went through the maze, and it was still fun. But the year before that, I went on there, and you go on a haunted hayride to get to the haunted corn maze.
Mm-hmm.
And that was terrifying. Like people were like jumping on the thing with chainsaws and stuff. Like, but it's so fun. Like, I hate scary stuff, but I love doing like haunted houses and stuff because it just makes me feel alive.
Yeah, in the same way. Until they have clowns.
Oh, I hate clowns. I cover my eyes. I hate clowns with my life. And I'm like the best target at anything scary because they obviously go after the people that are scared.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't have fun. It's the person just like, they're like, or Josh is just like, hi. Like, I'm like, ah! Like, dying. So, yeah. They like to follow me in the mazes. And it's always the clowns that have the chainsaws, too.
Yes.
Yeah. You're right. It is. So it's 2 and 1.
Are you doing you're doing the haunted thingy, right, Lena? When you go to Universal?
I'm not I am only doing Disney.
Oh, I thought you were going. Were you?
I was, but
okay.
I was going to. But I decided to do Boo Bash instead.
Isn't that like $200 a ticket this year?
It was 100 and something for one night. Yeah.
That's so much money. Is it has it always been that expensive?
Yeah, pretty much. It's a little bit higher, but not a whole lot higher.
No.
Oh, it's completely different. Like, it's a new outline this year, isn't it?
It's outlined on their after hours events, which have been shorter hours, and you get food and beverages included. A lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, it's so much more expensive in years past." Not really.
You get merch and stuff like for free?
No
merch.
If you factor in that there's less hours in the party, and you factor in that the price increase, it is kind of ridiculously priced, but it's not much higher than it was when it was.
Mickey's Not So Scary.
Yeah, but you're getting less. You are getting less. So that's why people are freaking out about it.
Before too, or is that something new?
No, you did not get food. You got food at Christmas, but like you could get candy.
You get candy at Halloween.
Not like drinks and food and stuff like you are this year.
Yeah.
So that's
I know some people are like, well, with Mickey's Not So Scary, we could get in at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
And now we can't get in until 7. So, but technically the party never started until 7.
Yeah.
So you were getting 3 hours of free time in the park.
Yeah.
Do they close the park off to everybody else?
Yes. You have to have.
So the whole park is closed?
Yes. If you do not have a Boo Bash ticket, you will not be allowed to stay in the park.
Okay, so because I was thinking that it was like $200 and you just like go into like this special part of the park. I didn't realize like you then get like, so like you're going to get better wait times and stuff because they probably don't sell as many tickets for that, right?
I don't know. I mean, from Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, I went to it twice, I believe. And the wait times here's the thing, like the reason they allow you to come in at 4 o'clock instead of when the party starts is so that you can ride some of the rides. Mm-hmm. There's so much going on with like meet and greets and things like that take hours. Like I think we stood in line to meet Jack and Sally for like 2.5 hours. Oh, we really got to do the 3 meet and greets and ride 1 ride when we were there. But the Christmas party, though, when we went, none of the waits were really long at all. So I don't know why the Halloween one's such a longer wait.
Like when we did the Christmas party in 2017, and whoa, where'd that go?
I know, I heard it too.
We got in at we chose that as a non-park day, so we waited in line to get in. We took a few pictures. We went through the side entry wherein they gave us our stuff along the route, took some pictures, and we went and got in line for 7 doors. And so we sat at the Seven Doors location for 3 hours.
Oh my goodness.
We didn't ride anything prior to. Because the one character we wanted to meet was the Seven Dwarfs. So we sat there, and people were like, "You can't be here already." It was other people behind us. So we're like, "Well, if we leave, that puts you first." They're like, "Yeah, so no." So we stayed there, and Sam and I would trade off. Like, if I needed to go to the bathroom, he would stay. And we always told the cast member that was there kind of overseeing the area, "Hey, we're running to the bathroom. My person's right there." And they're like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." Well, it switched. And the people behind us that they left, and another family moved up. And so we had been talking with them, and they had like a newborn, and she had to go nurse. And so she went to the baby care station, and she tried to come back, and the cast members yelling at her that she can't cut, they can't do that. And I'm like, she was here. She went to go nurse her baby. And she's like, "She was not here when I got here." And I'm like, "Yeah, you just missed her. You can radio the person that you're covering for and ask." She's like, "I will do that, and they're going to prove you wrong, and then you're both going to leave." And I'm like,
Jesus.
and so she radioed her, and they're like, "Oh." And I don't know what happened, because she started arguing, but they left the line. They're like, "Not really. She went to go nurse her baby. Would you leave her alone?" I'm like, "Good thing I didn't have to go to the bathroom. She wouldn't have let me back in line." So, I mean, and they do that because people will put one person in line and then have like 50 people join them in line and want individual pictures. And then this group of people with grandma and this group of, like, they want 5,000 pictures, and they didn't wait in line.
Yeah, that's
So
okay.
for some of the more popular characters, they'll tell you up front, it's 3 pictures max. Individual pictures if you want them, and a picture with everybody together.
But like, that's like the thing is, like, if they can be proven that they've been there and stuff like that, like, you should be able to get back in line. If you haven't waited in line the whole time, then you shouldn't be able to get back in line. Like, that's just messed up. Like, so I get like on that end, but like if she had called and then right away they're like, "Oh no, yeah, she was there, she left to go breastfeed or whatever, or milk," like, you know, they should have been like, "Oh, my apologies, like, we're just trying to keep things whatever." It shouldn't have been like a whole fazoozle of a thing, you know?
Right. But like, I know people, for the Halloween party in 2015, the character I really wanted to meet was Jack Sparrow. So we sat at the stage for 3 hours so that we could meet Jack Sparrow. We were like the second group to meet Jack Sparrow. If you go to the party and they have the actual meet and greets, and there's a character that is on your list to meet and you want to do it, go get in line. Mm-hmm. Forfeit that extra time right at the beginning to go wait in that line.
Because they will close off the lines. Like, once they realize how long the wait's going to be, they'll close off the lines.
Really?
Yeah. And see, here's the thing. You're going to have a ton of people in line waiting for a meet and greet. And half the other meet and greets have like 4 or 5 people in them. Because
so for the one that you know is going to be popular, and then go to the other ones.
Yes. Like,
I don't think I'll ever make it to any kind of holiday party.
Unless it's the Christmas party, because Jack and Sally, when we first got there, the line was 2 hours long. And I was just like, let's come back later. I really want to try all these other things. And we stood in line at the Halloween party for 2.5 hours. We came back when one of the shows on the castle projections were going on. We literally only had one couple in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
So what all can you do when you're at these parties? Like, obviously character meet and greets. Like, what else is happening that you would want to do that, like, you couldn't do, like, that you would have to pay for an extra experience? Like, besides, like, being able to meet more characters than when you're just in the park normally.
They typically will have a special parade or a cavalcade.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the Halloween party, they have a trick-or-treating trail where you can literally go and get a ton of candy, as much as you want. At Christmas time, they have a cookie trail, and the cookie trail is not just all cookies. They also have like soft pretzels and eggnog and spice
Is that
cider.
free to get? Is that free, or do you have to pay extra for that?
No, all that stuff is included in your hard ticket event.
Yeah.
In your package.
Yeah.
They also have like specialty foods like that aren't included with that to buy that are only out during the party.
Yeah.
They have merchandise that they will only bring out during the party.
Yeah.
And then if you're an annual pass holder, they'll have annual pass holder event specific merchandise. And then it like they'll have like the atmosphere will be completely different as well.
Yeah, they also do overlays on some of the rides, like a Christmas overlay or a Halloween overlay. They also have so the Memory Maker is a package you can buy when you're coming in if you're not an annual pass holder, to where you get all your photos that are taken by photo passes, which is people that are taking pictures. They also have magic shots that they only offer. They offer magic shots all the time, but they have specific Halloween or Christmas magic shots too.
Right. And you can follow Disney Photo Pass on Facebook, and they actually have album, like they'll like show what magic shots and specialty photos they'll have for the event.
Oh, okay.
Like the Pirates ride, they'll have live actors throughout the ride interacting with you. The teacups will play Halloween music or Christmas music depending on which party you're at. The Haunted Mansion during Christmas time at Walt Disney World will have characters out front. The Haunted Mansion in Disneyland has a Nightmare Before Christmas overlay. Space Mountain has at Halloween, it's completely dark instead of having electrical lights, and it plays Halloween music. At Christmas time, they have Christmas lights in there, so you can kind of see what's going on in there. I'm trying to think of some other overlays because I know there's a couple more.
It's a Small World gets kind of a Christmas overlay. They put like Christmas outfits on some of the dolls.
Yeah.
Huh, okay. So it's more than just like you get to meet these characters kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the characters are the thing. They have rare characters that you don't hardly ever see. Like at the Christmas party, they have Uncle Scrooge with a Donald Duck.
And can you never meet Uncle Scrooge, or is it
No? Uncle
like
Scrooge.
Never, or
It's a party only character.
oh.
Unless they're doing a training day at Epcot and you catch them.
Huh. I feel like there's so much I didn't know.
Like sometimes they'll have some of the villains out for meet and greets that you never see the villains in the parks for a meet and greet. And those the rare characters are going to be the lines that are the longest, like the Seven Dwarves, Jack and Sally.
So you can't. Jack and Sally are only out during the parties.
They're only out at the parties. Moana is only out at the parties. In Disneyland, you have Moana and Maui only out at the parties.
Do they ever change that, or is it always like that?
Always like that.
There has been a time, like Jack Sparrow's usually only at the parties, but sometimes you can catch him on just random days out there. But for the most part, the characters at the parties are only at the parties, or they're only dressed in their Halloween or Christmas attire at the parties. And the rest of the time, they're just regular character meet and greets.
Right.
We can get like special pictures because
right. Like Belle, and let's use Epcot as an example. Did you know that there's a Beauty and the Beast Christmas movie?
Yes.
Okay. Her Christmas dress, you can actually find her in Epcot November and December, starting on a certain date in November, in that Christmas dress. It's only certain times, and it's only certain days.
Is it going to be when I'm out there?
When are you going to be there?
The week of the 8th?
No,
November?
it'll be after. That's still going to be food and wine. It'll be during Festival of the Holidays, so it'll be after Thanksgiving.
Wow, poop.
We have been live for almost 2.5 hours.
Well, how long are you guys normally live on this thing?
Oh, we were 2 hours last time.
2 hours last time.
Okay.
I was like, oh, wow.
I just know that we get to talking sometimes and we just lose track of time.
We do. That's okay.
Yeah, Castle Chat last week. We were on forever.
Hey. We've got some Run Disney info.
Ooh, share it.
I'm pulling it up.
That means that email came through to me too, right?
It wasn't an email. Somebody posted it in a Run Disney group.
Oh.
Yeah, Christy. Jeez.
Well, normally we get an email from Disney.
Look, Wine and Dine weekend is November 4th through 7th. You are going to be there at a bad time, Sammy.
Why?
Wine and Dine half marathon weekend is going to be nuts.
Well, so are they actually going to have Wine and Dine this year? And
looks like it doesn't say virtual. There's a springtime surprise weekend.
No, because I get there on the 8th.
Okay, you'll get there right after. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the springtime surprise weekend?
How come we did not get that email?
I don't know. If you've been looking for a new and exciting running event, the Run Disney Springtime Surprise Weekend at Walt Disney World Resort is for you because it's a completely different experience every year. You'll never know what to expect, except that it's going to be fun and distinctively Run Disney. That is crazy.
These shirts are so comfy, Christy.
I know they are.
But I love it, and I also because I have really sensitive skin. And you can tear the tag like perfectly off.
Yeah.
Yes. It's not virtual. It's there, Christy.
Okay, but so it should be okay because I'm getting the week of I get there the 8th, so it will be a lot calmer by the time I get there.
No, because all the racers will still be there. They usually stay for a few days after.
So it'll be like my first couple of days will be busy.
Mm-hmm. They're going to do the 5K.
How much does it cost to run?
It's a lot.
A lot. It's okay. Registration prices. Haha. Okay. It's date based now. General registration opens July 13th. Okay, guys, what we're going to do.
And then do they have to pay for their park ticket as well? Oh, look at Isla! No, that's their ticket.
Okay. What we're going to do. This is not a ticket into the park. We're going to end this stream. And I'm going to send you guys a link for a new one. I'll create it real quick, and we'll call it Run Disney Info, and we'll talk about all things Run Disney.
Okay.
That way it gets its own stream.
I have a meeting at 10, so I can't be on for that long.
Okay,
I'll hop in.
Okay, all right. I'll send it real quick.
I'm going to go use the bathroom while we're doing this.
Okay, sounds good. See you in another stream real quick.
All right.